welcome to Brooke Does Yoga. I'm Brooke. Let's do some yoga together. Today, we are going to be going through what is commonly called a sun salutation. In Sanskrit, they're called Surya Namaskar sequences, which translates to roughly sun salutation. And there's actually 3 different variations of the Surya Namaskar. So we're going to go through all 3 of those variations today. First, these operate as sort of simple templates around which many flow classes are structured. They're quite simple at their base, so they're easy to modify and add on to. By themselves, they make great workouts by themselves. Great, as you might imagine, being called sun salutations. Great for your morning practice, a couple rounds to kind of get the blood flowing, get the body moving at the beginning of the day. I also like to do sun salutations before other workouts like strength training, again, as a way to warm up the body and just kind of get everything flowing, moving, mobile. There's a little bit of strength, there's a little bit of flexibility, and there's some movement. I like to call them slow motion burpees sometimes, particularly the sun salutation A. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. You shouldn't need too many props. You may want a block or a book or something to sit on. Today I am sitting on the complete works of William Shakespeare, so I forgot my blocks. So grab a big book or a blanket or a pillow, something to sit on if that is comfortable for you, and let's get started. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So options here, either knees together, toes together, or knees wide apart and the toes touching together. Either way, we're going to sink our hips back towards the heels, and then from there, start to stretch the spine long. And this is we're just going to warm up a little bit before we get into our sun salutations. And just to make sure that we're nice and limber and ready to get moving. So we might be here. We might come all the way down, forehead to the floor. We might use our book or our blanket to rest the forehead on. And this option of resting the forehead is really nice if you don't have the flexibility in the spine yet to let the forehead rest all the way down onto the mat. Just because it lets the head rest. The head is quite heavy and your neck is carrying it around all day. So this is a really nice way to just let the neck relax a little bit. And here in your child's pose, just start to take some deep breaths. And this is an interesting place to breathe because you can really feel the breath in all 4 sides of your lungs. Stay where you are. In child's pose, we can feel how the breath moves in 4 different directions. So often we think of our breath just being here on the front body, but in reality, our ribs and our lungs expand out to the sides and also on the back body, expanding for air. And here in child's pose, we can really start to feel that motion breathing into the back body. We can feel the side body start to expand. And then, of course, the belly and the lungs on the front of the body starting to move down towards the mat. So take a few breaths here and just start to notice your breath. And especially with the head down towards the mat like this, we can start to listen to the breath and hear that flow, that rhythm, that sounds almost like the sound of the ocean flowing in and flowing out. And that rhythm is particularly present or important in these sun salutations. It's sort of the core of that vinyasa flow. Good. And then as you inhale, on your next inhale, start to rise up, just pressing down into the hands, and come all the way up to all fours, hands and knees for a tabletop. Just for a moment here. And we might shift the hips from side to side a little bit. Just start to feel into the body. Spread your fingers really wide and plant the hands down nice and strong. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists and align your knees right under your hips. And then give a little tone of the low belly up towards the spine. A little coil behind the heart. Nice neutral spine here. One full round of breath here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Good. On your next inhale, drop your belly down towards the mat. Reach your heart through your arms. Lift the crown of your head. Lift your tailbone. Cow pose. On your exhale, round your spine. Press your hands down into the floor. Drop your head and your tailbone. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Take 2 more rounds following your own breath. And then we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop. Cross your ankles and shift back into a seat. And this is where you might want your book or blanket underneath you. Really helpful to get our knees a little bit lower than our hips. Helps the hips start to release and relax downwards. Get that stretch there. Set yourself up in a comfy seat. And then again, here we're going to move with our breath. On your inhale, reaching the arms wide and then all the way up. Look up towards the fingertips. Reach the hands high. Exhale, wide and down. Again, we're just warming up for our sun salutations here, just to get the body a little bit prepped. Good. Inhale, up high. Exhale, wide and down. Inhale, reach up high. And then on your next exhale, take a twist to the right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Right hand comes down behind you. A little twist. Inhale up to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. One more on each side, just like that. Start to feel the body move with the breath. Inhale to center. And then this time, exhale, right hand comes down, left hand reaches up and overhead. Really root down into the right hand and then reach through your left fingertips. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Root down, both side bodies long. Inhale, center. One more each side. Follow your breath. So again, really important that we're listening to that rhythm of the breath here. We'll find center. And then bring both hands down to the heart. Nice deep breath in. Full breath out. Good. Roll back over your shins into all fours. Move that block or blanket, whatever you had there. And then we'll come back to that strong tabletop pose. This time, tuck your toes under. Lift your knees to hover off the mat. Little core work here. Stretch your tailbone back and the crown of your head forward. And then magnetize your thighs and your heels towards each other. They're not actually going to move to touch, but you feel that action of the muscles, everything pulling in towards your center, finding strength. Take 2 deep breaths here. Listen to that sound of the ocean. Exhale, set the knees down, and then walk the legs back. Bring the belly all the way down to the mat. And to start here, let's take the arms all the way back by the sides of the body. Turn your palms down to plant on the mat. Your forehead can rest down on the mat. And then pull your shoulder blades together on the back. Lift your shoulder heads away from your mat. Root down through the hands, and then press your toenails down into your mat. Inhale, lift your heart up and forward. Breathe here. Exhale, release all the way down. You can turn the head to one side. Give the hips a little wiggle. Good. And then turn the head forward. Bring your hands by the sides of your body, like near your ribs. Keep your hands really, really light. You can even float them up off of the mat if you like, if you're feeling pretty strong already. Again, root your toenails down into your mat. Use the strength of your core. Lift your heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Turn your head the other way. Little rest here. And then plant your hands by the sides of your body. Press up to all fours. Tuck your toes. Find downward facing dog. Maybe a little pedal out of the feet here. Just kind of feeling into the body. And then put a big bend in your knees. Walk or step your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Good. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Bring your hands to your shins. Firm your belly, flatten your back. Exhale, fold over your legs, a bend in the knees. We'll start at the beginning with Surya Namaskar A. So come to the top of your mat. Option, either feet hip-width apart, all 10 toes pointing straight towards the top of your mat. Or you can bring your big toes together with a little space between your heels. Try both, see what feels best for you today. It might change on a day-by-day basis. Once you find the stance that you want, we'll start to come into what's called samastitihi, which is just equal standing, or standing well, essentially. So you're going to place your feet well, being mindful of where the weight is landing on the feet. Tadasana, mountain pose. Equalizing the weight over your arches. And then little lift of the kneecaps. Soften the backs of the knees. Firm and lift up through the low belly. Reach the heart up high. Soften the midribs in. Let the shoulder blades fall down towards the floor. And then from deep inside your shoulder girdle, turn your palms to face forward. Broaden the collarbones across the chest. Let your head float off of your neck like a little balloon. Good. One breath here. On your inhale, reach your hands up high. Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing salute. On your exhale, take your hands out wide. Hinge at your hips and fold forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, round your spine. Plant your hands down to the ground. Step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat. Low lunge. Option to pause here. Feel into the hips a little bit. Or plant the hands and take the foot straight to the back of your mat for a plank pose. Plank might be here. We might have a knees down plank to support. We might be in a tabletop pose. Find your version, what's best for your body. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower halfway down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees might come down here. Then lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lift your heart. Baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. On your exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Take 5 deep breaths in your down dog. Option to lift your right foot and reach it up towards the sky. On your exhale, everyone step your right foot in between your hands, and then step your left foot forward to meet it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, all the way up high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, like that. Inhale, up high. Option to take this into a little back bend. Back to center. And all the way down. Forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, firm belly, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, touch the ground. Left foot all the way back. Option to pause here for a breath. Plant the hands, front foot goes all the way back, plank pose. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Open your heart, your choice. We might be here in cobra, and then we'll make our way back, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths. Root your fingertips down into the mat really strong. Reach your shoulder blades into your hands to push the floor away. Reach the hips up and back. Moving the heart closer to your thighs. Option to lift the left foot towards the sky. Everyone exhale, step left foot forward. Shift your weight forward. Right foot steps forward to meet it. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, all the way up. Maybe that little back bend. Exhale, hands come to the heart. 1 breath here. Okay, you may already be feeling the body start to heat up, feeling a little pounding of the heart. We're going to do 2 more of this Namaskar A. You have the option of either doing it exactly the way we just did with a step back. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like with a hop back. Yeah, so if you're feeling really fiery today and your core is on, come with me. Or maybe you're just feeling like you want a little playtime and you're at home. Maybe no one will notice if you fall or mess up, because that's the beauty of yoga, is just doing weird stuff with this body that we have. So, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, touch the ground. Plant the hands down to the mat, maybe bend in the knees. And then hop your feet all the way back to your Chaturanga, elbows bent. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Really root down through the hands. Wrap the shoulder blades forward and down into the very heel of your hands. Getting your sticky little frog fingers gripping down. Lifting the hips up and back. Option to step forward here. Option at the very bottom of your exhale, when you have no air left, put a big bend in your knees. Look forward at your hands. And then hop your feet to your hands. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale all the way up. Maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath. Good. One more like that, whatever variation you choose. Inhale up high. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands. Walk, step, hop, float feet to the back of your mat. Inhale, lifts your heart. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths in your down dog. Stay strong here. Option to lift the leg and step forward. Option to put a bend in the knees and hop, or just step the feet forward. Your choice. What are you working with today? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath. Okay, good job. Now we're going to move on to Surya Namaskar C. So we're going to skip B for the moment and go straight to C. I find it just a little bit easier to do earlier in the practice. So this is the way that I like to do them. After you kind of get familiar with them, you can decide for yourself. Here we go, Surya Namaskar C. We're going to come to the top of our mat. Find your stance. Samastitihi, Tadasana. Inhale, lift the hands up high. Maybe a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Touch the ground, step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat. For this one, bring your right knee down. Bring the top of the foot to the floor. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. We'll inhale and reach both hands up high. Strengthen your legs by pressing both feet down into the mat really strong. And then sinking the hips down and lifting the heart up high. So strength and flexibility here. Exhale, hands come down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take your front foot to the back of your mat for plank. Your version of plank, inhale. Exhale, lower half or all the way down. Your inhale lifts your heart. Your exhale, downward dog. 5 deep breaths in down dog. Good. Option to stay where you are. Option to lift your right heel up high and then bend your right knee. Stack your right hip on top of your left hip and open your hips towards the side wall. Reach your right hand and your right knee in opposite directions. Exhale, level your hips down towards the mat, straighten your leg, step your right foot in between your hands. Bring your left knee down to the mat. Second side right here, Anjaneyasana. Good. Strengthen the legs. Release the hips down. Lift the heart high. Exhale, hands come down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Step that back foot forward this time, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. One more round. Inhale, up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, touch the ground. Left foot all the way back. This time, leave your back knee up off of the mat. Align your back heel right over the ball of your back foot. Sink deeply into your front knee. And then inhale, both hands up high for crescent pose, high lunge. So your front knee reaches forward. Your back heel presses back. Your legs getting longer away from each other. Exhale, hands come down. You know where we're going. The front foot goes all the way back, plank pose. Take your version of your vinyasa. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, and we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. 5 breaths, nice and strong. Option to stay where you are for a few breaths. Option to lift the left leg high, bend the left knee, stack left hip on top of right hip. Reach your left hand and your left knee in opposite directions away from each other. Exhale, level your hips. Everyone step left foot forward. Back knee stays lifted. Set yourself up. Crescent pose, high lunge on the second side. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, around. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. So you can start to see how these sequences can be adapted really easily to however you're feeling that day. You can move really quickly through these poses, or you can stand and hold, for example, that crescent pose for as long as you'd like, if that's feeling really good that day. Okay, moving on to our final Surya Namaskar, Surya Namaskar B. And this one I find to be the most athletic. It's the most difficult for me personally, so I like to save it till the end if I'm going to do all of the Namaskars together. Obviously, you can also take any of these and do them separately, again, as a warm-up, or just at any point you need to get the body moving a little bit. So, Namaskar B. Here we go. Come to the top of your mat. Samastitihi Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Inhale, reach your hands up high. Bend your knees and sink your hips down and back for chair pose. Firm your belly button towards your spine. Sink your hips down and lift your heart high. Wrap your shoulder blades around your back. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step both feet back or hop. Plank pose. Hold in your plank. Take your vinyasa. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, downward dog. Hold in down dog. Breathe and feel into the body. Inhale, stretch your left heel up high. Exhale, step your left foot forward in between your hands. Turn your back heel down to the mat. We might take a little bit of a shorter stance here, setting up for warrior one. Your back toes are going to point forward towards the top corner of your mat. Bend your front knee deeply. Inhale and reach both hands to the sky. Warrior one. Wrap your back ribs forward. Square your heart towards the front of your mat. Good. Deep breath in here. Exhale, take the hands down, turn your back heel up, and take your front foot all the way back, plank pose. Take your vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog, taking some deep, slow, steady breaths. On your inhale, reach your right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Spin your back heel down. Warrior one, inhale. Find all of your warrior one actions, being especially mindful of the outer edge of your back foot. Hips and heart start to move towards the short front edge of your mat. Good. Exhale, hands come down. Back heel turns up. Front foot goes back. Vinyasa. Breathe deep in down dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees. Either walk, step, or hop your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Deeply bend your knees. Chair pose, inhale. Good. Exhale, stand all the way up, straightening the legs. And bring the hands down to the heart. Deep breath in. Good. And there we have it. All three sequences of Surya Namaskar Sun Salutation. Okay, that was a lot of work. We did a little bit of a warm-up at the beginning. Let's do a little bit of a cool down now, just to kind of bring the energy back to center, help us catch our breaths. So come all the way down to a seat on your mat. And we might again sit up on a book, your copy of The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. That can really help, again, to get the hips a little bit higher than the knees, helps us relax a little bit. If you don't have anything to sit on, you can also just put a little bend in the knees and help get the spine nice and tall and long. Wherever you are, firm the tops of your thighs. Activate your quadriceps. That's going to tell your hamstrings on the other side that it's time to relax. Flex your ankles and point your toes straight up at the sky. And take a look and just notice if you have a habit of pressing more strongly through one side of your foot or the other. And see if you can square and level the feet towards the top of your mat so that you're equally pressing through your big toe and your pinky toe. Good. And then we might take the arms down by the sides and press down into the mat to give a little lift of the heart, a little extra support here. Lift up and in through the belly. I know, you're like, I thought we were cooling down. Why am I working so hard? Just a little bit longer. Firm the low belly. We can stay right here. If you want some more work, lift the arms forward, maybe up. And take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold to your degree. One more inhale just to lift up about halfway, reach the heart forward. And then exhale, let the spine start to come down the belly onto the thighs. And we might, again, if you have your yoga blocks or a blanket, this is a great place to put something to rest the forehead on again. Once again, just so the neck gets a little bit of a break. And take some deep breaths into your back body, reminding yourself again of the four-directional nature of the breath. And then on your inhale, start to rise all the way back up. Beautiful. And then we'll take the soles of the feet to the mat. And just give a little tug on the front of the shins. Again, stretch the spine nice and long. On your exhale, round your spine, fold in towards the knees. Inhale, lift up, stretch. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lift up. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Gently lower the spine, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down onto the mat. And then walk your feet closer towards your hips. Feel your shoulder blades come into your back body, supported up by your mat. Let the backs of your shoulders, the backs of your arms rest down. And then bring your attention to your feet and seal all four corners of your feet down into your mat. As you inhale, press down into your feet and lift your hips up high, bridge pose. Reaching the hips high, your shins forward, and your heart closer to your chin. On your exhale, lift your heels, gently drape your spine back down onto your mat. Good. Heels come down at the very end. And we'll do one more like that. Another option here for your bridge pose is to take your blanket or block or book. Have it handy. And then we'll all press down into the feet. Inhale to lift the hips. Either take a bridge pose just like we did last time, or you can take your prop and place it underneath your sacrum. That's the very, very base of your spine. And just let the hips rest with a little elevation here. This is a little bit more restorative, so if you're feeling like the energy is a little bit lower right now, this is a great place to be. Everyone take one more breath where you are. Good. And then lift the hips if you have the block and just gently shift it out from underneath. Everyone gently drape the spine down onto the mat. And then walk your feet as wide as your mat is. And windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Maybe pausing in any places that feel particularly good. Or we might be going quickly if motion is really feeling good to the body today. Eventually, start to find stillness and walk your feet hip width apart. And then hug both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Good. Exhale, set the soles of the feet down to the mat. And then we'll come into a reclined pigeon pose. So we're going to take our right ankle and cross it over our left thigh. And then let the right knee fall out towards the side and forward towards the front of your mat. And we can stay right here. We might take the right hand to the inside of the right thigh and gently press it forward and out. Check in and see if both sides of your pelvis are equally weighted down to the mat. We might stay here. We might thread the hand through this little hole that we made, like a number 4, and take the hands to the back of the left thigh and bring this whole leg situation closer to us. See if you can keep your neck and your shoulders nice and relaxed here, though. If you find that when you grab onto your left thigh, your spine starts to round up and there's a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders, either try taking a lower grip down on the thigh, or maybe we just stay here. You can also use your book or your prop under the foot. That'll give you a little bit more while letting the neck and shoulders stay nice and soft. And let's stay here and breathe for about 3 breaths. At the end of your next exhale, slowly let the feet come down if they were lifted. Uncross the legs, set your prop to the side if you used it. And then we'll just shift over to the second side. So your left ankle will cross over your right thigh. Let that left knee fall forward and out. Check in with the pelvis. Relax the neck and shoulders. Either stay here or take that grip around the right thigh. And then breathe deeply into your hips. Expanding the breath in 4 directions. Feeling your back body supported by your mat. And stay here for another 5 breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, gently bring the feet back to the floor, uncross the legs. If it feels good, you can do another little windshield wiper or hug the knees into the chest. And then when you feel complete with your practice for the day, just let the legs go out long and straight. If that's comfortable for you, just finding a resting pose that you can stay in for a few breaths here. That might mean the soles of the feet come to the floor, the knees might fall in together. Again, just finding somewhere that you can rest and breathe. We did a lot of work today with those Namaskar sequences. They're pretty athletic. try to bring that same dedication that you brought to your movement practice to this practice of stillness. Yoga is all about balance. Balance of strength and flexibility, effort and ease. A balance of movement and stillness. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like, or gently start to awaken the body with some little movements. Eventually, you'll bend your knees, roll to one side, and help yourself up to a comfortable seat. And just take a moment here in your seat to thank yourself for coming to your mat or your carpet or your living room or wherever you are today. Thank yourself for being here, being present with yourself, your breath, your body. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'll see you next time.